So triangles, there's a lot of information about triangles that you've been taught in the past. So if you can't remember what the types of triangles are, have a look in the textbook, it's all written out. I'm not going to go through it because you've been taught that since year 7. What I am going to look at today is the proofs of some of the things that we know. So one of the properties of a triangle is that the angle sum of any triangle is equal to 180. So looking at our triangle here, A plus B plus C is going to equal 180. We use that to work out any missing angles. Today I want to look at why is it equal to 180. So what we do is we create this line AB so that it's parallel to YZ. So it's parallel to one of the sides of the triangle. Now I've named the 3 angles A, B and C just because that makes life a little bit easier when we start filling in the notation. So we want this parallel line AB because when we put in a parallel line, we start creating those special angles, corresponding angles, alternate angles, and co-interior angles. So if AB is parallel to YZ, then what that means is that angle AXY is equal to angle XYZ. And the reason is because they are alternate angles in between parallel lines. Now be very careful in geometry, guys. Knowing something is not the same as proving something. You have to be very, very clear on what you're doing, why you're doing it, and how you know. Okay, so those 2 angles are equal. It is because they are alternate angles, and we know that they are alternate angles in parallel lines. If those lines aren't parallel, the alternate angles aren't anything special. They're just alternate. They're equal because they're alternate in parallel lines. So we need both of those pieces of information. So if we know that AXY is equal to angle XYZ, then what that means is that this little angle here is A. Now similarly, we can prove that angle BXZ, is equal to angle XZY. And again, it's because they are alternate angles and AB is parallel to YZ. So that means that we can fill in our little C here. Now have a look at what that's done. I have a straight line AB. So A plus B plus C has to be equal to 180 because it's a straight angle. And that's how you prove that the angle sum of a triangle is equal to 180. Now this is what we use it for, working out the missing angles of a triangle. So in equation 1, we have triangle ABC and its isosceles, and they want us to find x. So 2 pieces of information you need here, the angle sum of the triangle and the fact that this is an isosceles. So if this is an isosceles triangle, this is equal to x. Because that's something that I have put in, I need to say something about that. Angle ACB is also equal to x because it's the base angles of an isosceles triangle. Okay, so once I know that, I can then say, well, 2x plus 20 is equal to 180 degrees, and that's because it's the angle sum of a triangle. So 2x is equal to 160 and x is equal to 80. Now the second proof that we have is that the exterior angle, and an exterior angle is created if we extend one of the sides. So you can see the side that goes from AC has been extended. The exterior angle, x, is equal to the sum of the opposite interior angles. And when we say opposite interior, they are talking about A and B. It's not the one next to x, it's the 2 opposite. So how do I prove that? Well, it goes back to the angle sum. We know that A plus B plus C is equal to 180 because that is the angle sum of a triangle. But if you have a look at that straight line, we know that x plus c is equal to 180 because we have a straight angle. So looking at those equations, it should be obvious that a plus b is equal to x. Very simple little proof, that one. we can use that to work out the angle x here that you can see. So what we know is that x plus 43 is equal to 105. How do I know that? Because it is the exterior angle of a triangle. So then it's pretty simple. X is equal to 62. Now be very careful when you're doing these proofs, guys. Make sure that you are giving reasons, because if you don't give reasons, you're not going to get your full marks. See you in class.